Hi, everyone, and welcome to a live training that is also recorded. So you may be watching this on my blog or Facebook with Gail Wood. And today we're talking about ebooks because, Gail, you've had a lot of success with ebooks over the years. And I am just really excited to talk to you. So you want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Gail, and I started an online business just about 10 years ago exactly. And ebooks were one of the first things I started with. I think they're kind of underrated in the online business world. And so I'm excited to share just some of the different things I do with ebooks that either make me money directly or lead to me making money.
I agree with you. I think they are underrated. Like there are so many readers out there. I mean, and some of us from childhood, like I think of myself as a reader, but yet I don't always gravitate to ebooks or see a lot of them out there. So I'm just really excited about this. And I can't wait to just have a nice discussion about it. I'm just gonna I've got stories about like okay, I'll just tell you one because I feel like I might forget it. But I remember when I was first in online, like learning online business, I would print off PDF ebooks. And that's just
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
something I do that much anymore. And I'm excited to deliver that kind of learning experience to people because I only ever really did one ebook. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing how you've done this and what you've been doing with ebooks. So why don't we start with why you decided to write an ebook and how it's helped your business?
Yeah, so I think I decided to start with an ebook because honestly, I wasn't that comfortable being on camera. I didn't really have my head wrapped around, the technology of doing an online course or an online program. But somewhere along the way, I realized by buying people's ebooks, that, oh my gosh, it's just a PDF.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like something I could do, even though I had a really simple website and a blog, and I was just figuring out like, I didn't even know how to get a MailChimp form onto my website. I actually paid somebody to do that because I just thought this is one thing I think I can do. So
Mm-hmm.
I decided to start there. And it really just, I felt like opened up so many doors for me. And it also helped to build my confidence because I'm like, okay, if I can write an ebook, figure out how to deliver this ebook, make sales of this ebook. Okay, I could probably do a course. So it was really just like a really great first step. Um, and I did, let me go back to just starting my blog. I started with a blog.
Mm-hmm.
And my thinking was, well, an ebook, I mean, that could just be, it's just more blog posts all put together, or it could be. So it's like I got started with writing and I was like, well, writing is something that I'm doing. I'll just do more of that. So my
Yeah.
very first book was, so I do stuff for massage therapists and spa therapists mainly, to help them build their businesses, make more money. That's what my background is in. So my very first ebook was called Spa Enhancements Your Clients Will Love.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wrote up how to do 12 different spa treatments, how to charge for them. I made like pages people could print for quick notes in case they wanted to keep it in their drawer in their office to refresh themselves on how to do the treatments. And then I got really stuck on my first ebook because I wanted to have photos. And I got all up in my head, like, oh, I don't have any place to take these photos. I don't have a good camera. I don't have the lighting. And I got really stuck for a good couple of months. And finally, I was in a Facebook group and a lady was offering free coaching sessions. And I signed up and I was like, I'm stuck on this ebook. And she said, no, you're not. She was like, why don't you just use your phone? And I was like, well, I don't think they'll be good enough. And she just was like, they'll be good enough. She's like, you can update it later if you want to. She's like, get your book done. And she just really kicked my butt. And like the next week I got my daughter and her friend and we set up in my house and we did the pictures for the ebook. So finally it was ready to go and I uploaded it onto eJunkie. I don't know if you remember eJunkie,
I do remember eJunkie.
but
I
it
had
was
something
like,
on there.
I was like, when somebody pays me, I want them to get the book. And it was, I mean, this was like a big deal for me back then, like figuring out this
So when
technology.
was
And
this? Like just to kind of give people a bit of background, like
so this was
when did you do your first ebook?
in 2014.
2014.
And I
And
actually like, but I started blogging in 2013.
you were in, so you started your business. You wanted to come online and teach people about massage and spa.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, how can I make some money sharing everything I've learned
Hmm.
with, with my over 20 years of experience in the industry? How can I make some extra money and maybe not be in the treatment room all the time? I was working really hard, doing, 15 or 20 massages a week. I was getting burnt out on that. So, I started my lifestyle business like you teach.
Yeah.
Um, and so my goal, honestly, my goal was just to make maybe an extra couple $100 a month, maybe 500 a month. That just seemed like, oh my gosh, I could cut back on massage if I could get $500 a month coming in.
Right. So this
So,
was really a transition from services.
mhm,
And at the time, you weren't necessarily thinking you were fully transitioning, just adding like a little extra income, but you're moving from services, leveraging, your experience, your skill sets, turning them into digital products, which is very similar to what I did, right? Like I had um started off in virtual assistant services, but I had developed a whole lot of skills, turned those into digital products as well. And I love how ebook, like you said, is like such a low tech way to get into teaching people and creating digital products. But I also think it's very overlooked, like you said, because it is printable. I do remember I printed those things off and made notes on
mhm.
them. I remember reading one in bed at one point, just like, it's just so portable. Take it, when you've got a few extra minutes. And also because they printed it, if people have, they can have it around for years, right? So that's
Yeah.
pretty powerful.
And yeah, so with that first ebook, I sent in. So one thing I'd done, which I didn't know that I was being smart by blogging for a year and having an email list sign up, I was just like, well, the people say to send a newsletter to people who read your blog. So I guess that's what I'll do. I was really kind of stumbling around, but so I got this ebook ready. I was so excited about it. I just sent an email out to my list real quick, like my book is ready. I'm so excited. And then we left for Thanksgiving. And
Mhm.
in the car on the way to Thanksgiving, it's a 2-day drive for us. And I had my first sale. And I've just never been so happy about $19 in my life. I probably haven't been since. But it was just so exciting. I was like, oh my gosh, I think this might actually work.
And this was your first experience with like selling digital products, creating
Yes.
anything
Yeah.
online.
I mean,
And
aside from like selling gift certificates for massages, but I don't, that's totally different because then I have to do the
mhm.
service.
And
But
you have, sorry, go ahead.
I just say it just really opened up my eyes. I was like, if one person will buy my book for $19, maybe 100 people will buy my book for
Hmm.
$19.
Well,
You
that
know,
really does segue me into what I was going to bring up next, which how much you have made through ebooks. Do you have a
so I
total?
will tell you that that first ebook I still sell almost every single day.
Wow. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I sell it in a little set. Now I have a little set. It's the spa enhancements, a book of spa recipes, and 50 ideas for specials and promotions. And I sell them in a little trio for $9.
And it's
But
still selling.
it's still selling. And that's one thing I absolutely love about ebooks. I feel like they don't get outdated the way some of our video courses and things can start to look pretty
Yes.
dated as
Yes, for sure.
technology changes. And they're easy to update.
Hmm.
The only thing I might need to update in my spa enhancements book is maybe pricing. because
And
it's 10 years later. So some of my examples about pricing might be a
right.
little,
And they're so sequential. It's just like it's top to bottom. You know, you're not going through all these different, like when I think of one of my courses, I could have different PDFs, I can have transcripts, I can have audio and video. So if I need to update a course, I need to update all these different elements, you know,
yeah.
and maybe things are outdated in the video. I've got to re-record the video. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about making some ebooks myself. And like on your site, you have like a quite a few. How many ebooks do you have on there now? Do you know?
So I have a couple that I kind of have on hold because I do want to update them. I have a
Mm-hmm.
marketing ebook that it does need to be updated.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it
Um,
makes
yeah, so I have 5 ebooks that I wrote in 2021 during the
mm-hmm.
pandemic. Um,
We
I
had
did
time.
this. It was 12 ebooks in 12 months, and I wrote 6. Actually, I wrote 6.
Nice.
Um, so my second bestseller currently is called 1000 Ideas for Entrepreneurs. And all that book is 100 journaling prompts for people to come up with 10 ideas.
Wow.
You list 10
Mm-hmm.
places where your ideal clients might hang out. List 10
Yeah.
problems ideal clients might have. And so one of the main places I currently use eBooks is if somebody signs up for my free gift, which is also an ebook, they go to a special offer page for that trio of 3 ebooks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then from there, they're on my list. They get to know me. And many of those people that start with those 3 ebooks or that free ebook end up becoming course customers and coaching clients and people I collaborate with for my events. But I feel like it all starts in my business with ebooks in some way or another, because it's a great, and it's an introduction that goes more in depth than a blog post can, or short video format.
Social media. Yeah, I
So
was just about to say that. Like a book is like a deep detail, but
yeah,
for a lower cost, you know, like ebooks are a lower price. So it's a less of a commitment. I'm making notes on this because I will definitely be adding like the advantages to ebooks. And like we've already talked about so many of it, it goes into those deep details and it's like such an affordable price. And you know, people feel less like they're making a commitment to buy an ebook than if they're
yeah,
committing to go through a course, right? Because we generally think of courses as like multiple videos, multiple downloads. An ebook is like, okay. And also, like maybe somebody doesn't know if they really want to be your customer and have a login to your thing and, you know, get all that involved. But an ebook is like, I don't know, what would it be comparable to? Like, maybe a course is going on vacation if we compare dating, right? Like, you know, people always
yeah,
compare it to dating and marketing. Like maybe a course is going on vacation, but an ebook is like going out to dinner, right? Like it's
yeah, or
less of
it's a
a
cup of
commitment.
coffee.
Yeah, a cup of coffee and you're just getting to know them, but still in an ebook you get to go pretty deep, right? I think it's I mean, I'm kind of blown away that I only ever wrote one ebook at this point
Yeah.
when I think about
And
it that way.
the other thing I love about it is it really does kind of cement your expert status. Like if somebody, think about how you think about people who wrote a book on a topic. I mean, there's even like that saying, well, they wrote the book on it, you know? So I feel like it kind of immediately, even if you just self-publish your own ebook, you're suddenly more of an authority
Hmm.
by just clicking save as PDF.
Because it is a book format, and people,
Yeah.
I think, because writing like it in a
It's
book format feels intimidating to so many people, and they think you have to have like you know more drive. But I like you've explained a couple of ways to make quick and easy ebooks, and I know you have some more tips for us as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, let's
Before I
get
even get
into, do you want to get into like that how-tos of writing ebooks?
yeah, but first I want to address a question I just saw. So
Okay.
we'll do that in like just a second. Yeah, and like the two that I can think of right now that you did, you said like you've got one that's 100. 100 pages of 10 prompts each, right? So that's something that people could do. And especially, there's tools to help us these days with that kind of stuff. But also you said you used your blog, right? Like there's different ways to do that. But we'll get into more tips from you. But Liz asks, what's the difference between an ebook and a printable?
So I see there's definitely overlap, but I see a printable as more something that somebody's going to specifically write on, like a journal or some kind of tracking pages or
Mm-hmm.
planner. And an ebook, like I feel like there's an option to print it, but you certainly don't need
Right. You can watch,
to
you
use
can read
it.
it on a computer, on a tablet. And yeah,
Yeah.
I consider that the same. Like to me, the printables kind of industry, it could be worksheets and things like that too, but it's more like you're creating the content. That's why they also like there's a low content, that's a term for some stuff like low
Mhm.
content printables, right? Because where it's like the person who printed it generates a lot of the content that goes onto it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, an ebook is like a book, right? So we're talking about something someone can just pick up and read and go through. And there was a comment from Catherine as well about talking about having printed ebooks for years. She just stumbled onto one from 2009. So I mean, there's the staying power of your
That
ebook.
was back,
Imagine.
before we had these phones and tablets and everything else. If you bought an ebook, you could sit on your computer and read it, or you could print it. So I think
Yeah.
that's probably why we printed them back in the old days.
Oh, I still will. Like if I came across something of value, finally that I got my printer ink going again, I
Mhm.
want that textile. Like, so I think there are still people going to be printing them. I mean, a lot of people will read them on their tablets and computers as well,
Yeah.
but there's something about holding it in your hand that
Yeah.
still is very, very, if it's important to me, I'm gonna print it because I feel
Well, I
like if I
feel
just
like there's
read
a
it on
different
there,
level of comprehension when you're holding it. And I don't know, I like to highlight
yeah,
things,
I make
take notes.
notes. Like yeah, like circling things, making notes and stuff like that. So, and also, I'm just going through the chat keeps moving, but Catherine said, I have many, many others I printed off and kept and still refer back to them every so often. Yeah, so some printers here. Fran prints, Catherine obviously prints,
I
and
think we
Marty
might be
prints.
aging ourselves.
But you know what? I asked in my community, do you remember seeing that post? And a lot of those people were printing too. But yeah, I don't know if the young people are printing, but we're still young. We're all still young. But I don't know if 20-year-olds are printing or what they're doing. But yeah, we have, I think most of us have communities that are still willing to print. But if not, that's okay because it can go on the tablet, the phone, the ebook, or not the ebook.
Yeah.
Well, there's ebook readers too.
Kindle.
I don't know about those, but
Yeah.
all right, so let's get into some like practical tips for writing ebooks. You share those with us. Do you have
Yeah.
some
So
ebook
kind of
writing tips?
the first thing I do is just, a bit of an outline. I don't use like any certain outline formula, but I would, like want to know like what's my what's my ebook about, what's it going to help people to do, I think is the main most important question. Is that when somebody gets done with this ebook, what will they be able to do?
Mm-hmm.
Make more money, manage their money better. So and then I just kind of do a thought download. What are all the important things I want to cover in this ebook? And those generally end up kind of becoming the chapters. There's a lot of ways to do book outlines and stuff with Chat GPT now. I haven't gotten too deep into that, but I played around with it a little bit, and it really is fun and helps you to do this whole process a bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of put from A to Z, what do I want to have in my ebook? And then honestly, I just start writing. And I'm like, I always start with, um, you know, here's an introduction. This is who I am and why I wanted to write this ebook. Here's what you'll learn. So introduction, and then, your important points. So what I love about ebooks too is they're very flexible as far as like length, format. We can let go of, the ideas of how a traditional book looks and feels, and it has to be 300 pages and all of that. I do like to have a table of contents in mine and make them look a little bit bookish. So I'll generally get somebody on Fiverr or somewhere to format them for me so that I have page numbers and things like that, which of course you could do yourself. I just am an impatient person when it comes to details like that. So I like to get that done for me. But I feel like, to me, anything over 25, 30 pages can be called an ebook. There's a whole section on Amazon called Amazon short reads. Like, people really like books they can consume in a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of my ebooks are definitely on the shorter side. You can sit down, you can go through them in an afternoon and really have some good information that you can implement and get started with.
How many pages would you say that is, like on the shorter side?
I would say most of mine are right around 100 pages.
Around 100? Yeah.
And that would be considered short. You can read 100 pages in probably 2-3 hours.
Yeah. And what would be long? Around 300?
Long, I've done them. I think I have a couple that are just over 200 pages.
Yeah.
And some of those, like I have a gratitude journal I did, and it does have journaling pages in it. I've got pages that just have like a nice quote. So if you do decide to print your books through Amazon, which I've done a couple of times, they have to be around 100 pages to have a spine and to look like a book. Otherwise, they'll kind of be stapled and they'll look more like a booklet.
Mm. Have you ever done anything like the Kindle books and stuff like that? Or you keep it as
Yeah,
PDF?
I have some that are on Amazon, and to be honest, I sell them from my website.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never really done the strategy that you need to do to get people to see your books on Amazon. So I make like $11 a month from Amazon.
Right, because it's a whole different strategy. And I think that's important
Yeah.
to point out. Like, you're using ebooks on your site to build your business, to build your list, to build your following. And if they were on Amazon site, they're kind of just picking up books, which is not bad. I mean, and I'm sure there's strategies to get them back to your site, but it's a whole different, like, if you think about, your home is your site, but then, if they've found you off of that, it's harder for them to want to come back to your home. They might just go back to Amazon and see what else Gail has to offer on Amazon if they, liked your book, right? So
Yeah.
that,
And what I love is, when I sell an ebook, I make all the money, and that person is now on my email list.
mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
mean, those are kind of my two goals.
Right. Right. So it doesn't necessarily make sense to go to Amazon for you. Like,
Right.
if someone had different goals, like
Yeah.
selling books through Amazon, that would be their goal. Yeah. And we did have some questions here. Um, Catherine said, Gail, do you use Designer or Beacon dot buy or another kind of ebook creator software? What are you
I don't
using to create it? You're using Google Docs or something like that?
Google Docs. I use
Mm-hmm.
Google Docs, and then I send it to somebody for formatting.
Mm-hmm.
And I did want to share my most recent ebook, and this is something I'd seen a few different places. And I was like, I don't know if I like that idea, but people would say you can put all your blog posts together in an ebook and sell it on your blog. And I'm like, why would somebody buy a blog post from a blog that they're already sitting there reading?
Mm-hmm.
But when
They
I
will
took my
though.
last post, they will, because you've organized it for them. They don't have to sit there and be on your website and try to find all the topics. So it's like, you can write about stuff. There's not really that much brand new information that people can't go and find online. But when you put it into an ebook, you've organized it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you've simplified it or whatever it is, put your twist on it as well. So I think that's something that I worried about for a while, and probably a lot of people worry about is my ebook going to be original enough? Is it going to be unique enough? There's already ebooks on this topic. Well, I think everybody can add to, the conversation on whatever the topic is. And you have your
Absolutely.
experiences.
It's the
Um,
same as like that idea of should I start a business on something? Like we are all completely unique. Like if you are creating authentically, there's nothing else like it in the world because it's from you, right?
yeah,
So um but kind of back to the I know we quickly just said you're using Google Docs, but I think that's important to
yeah.
kind of touch back on because it's like it's such an easy access to entry. Like if people are watching this now and they've never created any digital product and they're wondering how do I do it, you don't need any special software. Google
Mhm.
Docs is free. And I don't think, Gail, I know you hire someone to format it, but we can format a nice ebook
Oh yeah.
simply. You can add
Mhm.
pages to it pretty easily. Like you could do all
Yeah.
that even without paying anybody to do that service for you as well. Make a nice cover in Canva using a template, pop that
Mhm.
into Google Docs, PDF it, because we also did have a question about whether or not these are PDFs. I think that was from Marty. Yeah, he's saying, Gail and Angela, are these 100-page ebooks done as PDFs? And that's my
Yeah.
understanding. Yes, that you PDF it like
Mhm.
right from Google Docs, save as a
Mhm.
PDF. And then, when we move on through that process, you need a shopping cart. And, a lot of my customers use Thrive Cart, but some people are using
Mhm.
a member, and it's as easy to send an ebook as having it uploaded somewhere. And that could be Google Drive. And you could have it uploaded in Google Drive, give people the link through an email, and you have got a product, created, paid for, delivered. And that's pretty impressive.
Let's see, Catherine says, yeah, Canva does have a lot of ebook templates now that you can just use and just keep adding pages, as many pages as you need. I find Canva a little fiddly, personally. Like I could do graphics and images in there, but for writing, but it's any, whatever tool you want to use, it's just a matter of, just figuring it out.
Yeah. And I think whether you use a document or Canva, like because we can have like kind of really nicely designed stuff, and that's probably not so much for printing if it's got a lot of color and stuff.
Yeah.
So just thinking about those kinds of elements, because I actually really just like black and white, give me a document, I'm here to read. So I
Yeah.
don't need fancy formatting. I just want to be able to easily read the content and I'm good to
Yeah, I
go.
mean, you need
So
like paragraph breaks and stuff.
yeah, yeah, some spacing, some
But I
text.
will say, the one thing I love about Google Docs is it auto saves your stuff.
Hmm.
And, after I was doing my books in Word on my computer, and a few times like my computer crashed, I lost some of my work, and that's definitely frustrating. Um, and I just love that, Google Drive is with me no matter where I am.
Hmm.
I have it on my phone, I have it on my iPad, so I can always access if I want to add something, or, you know, I'm somewhere where I have a little time to write.
You think of
Because
something, you don't want to forget it.
yeah, most of my books I wrote in 20 to 30-minute little time chunks. And that was a mental thing for me. A mental block. I thought, oh gosh, I got to get a babysitter. I got to have a whole afternoon to write.
Right.
Well,
A
I don't
writer's
even like,
retreat.
yeah, I don't even like to write for a whole afternoon. I get, about 25 or 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, worked on my book today, go do something else. Um, so I had to definitely set that aside.
Yeah, just do what you can in little chunks. And I think there's so much advice out there. I'm a mom, you're a mom. There's so much advice for people who can like have 5 hours of time in a space. And like I can while my daughter's at school, but we also have so many other things on our plate. So like thinking about how to fit things in and working in those little chunks is perfect. So I appreciate that advice because I'm not going to make it big job that I need to have like a whole weekend free, as I start writing my books too.
So, oh, and another one of my favorite ways to do ebooks now is from a transcript. So I did a few workshops, like 1 hour workshop type classes. And I was like, this topic would make a really good ebook. So I have an ebook called Decluttering Your Schedule. I have an ebook called Decluttering Your Beliefs. And I have one called From Fear Driven to Fearless, which is just kind of mindset shifts. And
Hmm.
all of those were presentations that I did. I had them transcribed. And I mean, it's almost the same amount of work as writing from scratch. But because I'd planned a presentation, everything was already in the right order. And it just seemed a little more like, at that time, it felt more doable than staring at a blank page.
Well, it's such
So
great repurposing as well. Like if you're already doing a presentation somewhere, rather than doing it once for one event, you now have an ebook out of it, right?
yeah. Mhm.
I mean
Yeah.
that.
So those were really fun to do. So then instead of like spending my 25 or 30 minutes writing, I would be spending my 25 or 30 minutes like just editing this transcript.
Hmm.
So that process was kind of like go through it one time and just get rid of all the junk. Like when you say, okay, hey, you guys, all that stuff, just get rid of all the junk. And then I'll go back through and kind of make it, the way we talk isn't the way we write. So kind
Hmm.
of edit the words and make it sound more like a book that you would read. And then I also use Grammarly, which is a really good editing software for spelling, grammar, punctuation, and I do have the paid version of that, which will even like it will rewrite entire paragraphs for you. And you just click accept.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, I've never used the paid version.
so it's I definitely think I bought it because I had an editing job last year. And I ended up thinking, oh, like I just have to keep this for myself. It makes my life so much easier when I'm doing my email marketing. It makes my emails sound better. Yes, Grammarly is definitely a godsend.
So Marty said, I've always tried to make my ebooks pretty, but maybe I need to do them just in black and white. Yeah, it depends on yourself, your market, what you will kind of teach people what to expect from you as well. So if you do really beautiful designed things, that can be sometimes that's someone's branding, right? Like that's your brand is to create this gorgeous ebook,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah,
won't be mine
right.
because I'm not a designer and I do appreciate really pretty things, but I'm also I think at heart it's always been about the writing for me, and
Mhm.
so I really appreciate words in black and white on a sheet of paper. It's just like there's a beauty in that to me, not to sound too like nerdy.
But yeah, definitely whatever your style is, and that also can depend on kind of what your topics are.
Yes, like if your topic is
Somebody who's
design.
an an artist, yeah, or you're writing about creativity, you might do something that's more in kind of that art journal type of formatting, which I
Hmm.
think is cool, but I would never take the time to do that.
Yeah, it's your
So,
preferences. Like, do you want to read ebooks that are really, really, really nicely
mhm,
designed? And yeah, I think do you have the patience to like get an ebook out like that? And if you do, that's awesome. But if you don't, then don't try to force yourself because you will probably put a roadblock that you are fighting against, right? Thinking in your mind you've made this rule, it has to be this gorgeous design where, if someone's really interested in the content and the design is like a nice little bonus that they don't really care about, then think about how do you get that product out the door and get it created and in the hands of people who can help, right? So
yeah.
that's what we want to do.
Another type of ebook I've done too is I host online summits. And I was doing them with a business partner of mine, and he had the idea. He was like, let's take some of the summit transcriptions from the speakers and turn them into ebooks to promote our summits
Mm,
and to give as bonuses. And
right.
so, and I still use those ebooks. We did those in 2018, and I will still add them into an ebook bundle I'm selling or give them away as a bonus. Because that was one thing I really wanted to talk about is like how to use ebooks to build your list
Mm-hmm.
and how to leverage your ebooks into other types of products and
Okay, let's
make
make sure we get to that. I'll look at these questions and then we'll jump to that. Let me write it down. I know you know it, but let me write it down. So the two things were how to use ebooks to build your business.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
Oh, taking your ebooks to create courses and other things from your ebooks. Because just like I said, you can take a course and turn it into an ebook. You can also do the opposite.
And then people can initially, yeah, let's talk about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, taking the ebook and then going to a higher level, right? That could be something
Yeah.
that happens. But we have a couple questions from Merelda. Um, how long does it take you to write an ebook? Do you write 8 hours a day? So we did answer that already. You were talking about doing, and I know
Yeah.
she asked this a little earlier, but you were talking about doing like 20-minute spurts if you have, and you don't necessarily want to write like for 8 hours a day, right?
So
Yeah,
I would say an ebook for me right now, it's if I was like, oh, I'm writing an ebook, probably 2 to 3 months
2 to 3
max.
months in like
Yeah.
little time
Yeah. In little tiny chunks.
sections.
Now, there have been a few times where I was like pretty close on one and I like just locked myself away for a day and finished it.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get to that like 85, 90% done, I'm like, I just want this thing done
Just
so I
want to
don't
get
have to
it
worry
done.
about it anymore.
So yeah, we've got what do you do to design your covers? If not Canva, what do you use or do you outsource it? Let me see if these are a lot of questions here. Oh no, there's just two more. Yeah, okay, we can cover these and then we'll get into the next part. But yeah, what do you do to design your e-covers and what do you use and do you outsource it?
So that depends on a couple of things. If I have a VA, which I currently do, I usually have somebody who's pretty good at graphic design and I'll just have them go into Canva and be like, make a couple different options and
Hmm.
let's see what we like. So that, or I'll just go on Fiverr and have somebody do something that's simple, but it looks more like a real book cover than what I personally would do on Canva.
Hmm.
So,
They have some
but
good templates on Canva though. I think that look like book covers and you could just replace what's there with your content. But like I have created lots of reports and things like that and I just match my brand. Like I don't worry about it looking like like a professional book that's in chapters. I just
yeah.
match my brand and go with my own fonts and my own
Mhm.
images and things like that. So I don't think there's any right or wrong with that.
There's not, and I'll be honest with you, my first book covers, they were terrible. They were just like a colored background, and I got some square pictures from Pixabay and I stuck them on there and typed the title, and they were terrible. And
And
people
people
still bought
still
my book.
bought them. Yeah, and because they're after the content. They're not,
Yeah.
we talk about judging a book by its cover, but this is probably not the people who are buying the book. This is not the one and only introduction to you. They've already been on your list and you're sending them, to purchase the book, right? So,
And now, I mean, I think that also 10 years ago, like the bar was lower
yes.
for
Yes,
how our
definitely.
things looked.
But I think also people realize, if you're not a graphic designer, then your book
Yeah.
cover might not look like you're a graphic designer. So yeah, but if you can, there's lots of different ways to make it look very professional as well, like hiring someone,
Mhm.
getting someone off Fiverr. I don't know if that's hit and miss. I've never actually hired anyone from Fiverr, but I've always thought
It
about
is hit and miss, but if you miss, really, you probably only spent like $15.
it. Right,
So
right.
try again.
You try again.
Yeah.
So, also the other question was, do you have a template that you use to be mindful of margins, page numbers, etc.? I feel like Google Docs kind of has that covered.
Yeah, I
Does it?
think as far as I know, but that is why I do get mine formatted. But as far as if it's a PDF, I really don't think that's a worry. That's more of a
No.
worry if you're uploading it to Kindle
Right, like
or
specific
you're getting
margins, then you would need to follow the margins of whatever you're
yeah. Because you
uploading it
could
to,
even
or of
print
like
it
a
out
proper,
yourself and just make sure it looks fine.
yeah,
But the
like if
truth
you
is,
were,
with a PDF, people are going to be reading it on all different size devices. So it's going to just kind of, the formatting is going to get messed up anyway, depending on what people are reading it on.
yeah, and that's why, lots of text makes it simpler too, right? Because Fran
Yeah.
was saying, interesting, I love to read books, no pictures, and yet I think of ebooks needing to have images, food for thought.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
do think a lot of people who write ebooks, we add some fluff so that it's a longer book sometimes, because that line between like report and book, it's kind of a, like there's not like some rule, like
Hmm.
after 25 pages, it's an ebook. Before 25 pages, it's a report. But I think some people feel like to call it an ebook, they need more pages. So maybe they add in extra stuff, which is,
Yeah, I was thinking of ebook when I'm sure my first one was only like 22 pages or something. Like it was
yeah,
pretty short. It was very, very
yeah.
short. Um, Catherine also said if the ebooks are how to, then they really need pictures. Yeah, I almost consider those. I wonder how you would define like maybe something's like a tutorial, an instructional. Would we still
Mhm.
call that an ebook? But like these are like you said, they're kind of
Yeah,
semantics almost. Like, is it an ebook? Is it a tutorial? And then at that point, the formatting, yeah, I would check it in all different devices that you would think a person is going to see it on, right? So like if you are doing like how to do WordPress, like if I did that, I think I would still call it an ebook though. I would call it like a how to do a website in WordPress ebook, right? But it would
yeah,
have images. And so then I
yeah.
would want to check it like on my phone, on my tablet, on my computer, print it out. So do your own testing and
Mhm.
make sure you see. I mean, that wasn't the question. It was about the margins and stuff, but assuming the margins are important and the formatting is important for the device people see it
Yeah.
on or the way it's viewed, right?
So yeah, I guess just depending on what your topic, some books would call for pictures and some
Yeah.
books might not need them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about the picture-based things when I'm thinking ebooks, but in my case especially as well, I have certain things that would demo like email marketing. But I almost wonder, do you stick to more demonstratable stuff for courses and then just
Yeah,
talk about
because that's the thing. You want people to be able to have a next step with you.
right.
So
Yeah, and it's a quick
you could write
read.
how to get started with email marketing,
Hmm.
tons of good information, and then say, come and check out Email Marketing Club because
Right.
we do these things and you're going to get these video trainings.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking of doing when I do ebooks. I think it would be content based and then there wouldn't be those and then if I had something that had, pictures of tutorials and I'm just talking about my business here specifically because maybe some people relate to this for theirs, but like for me it would be any PDF with screenshots would be within the course as well, like a value add, like if my course is a video course mainly, I would add PDF, you know, printables with the
Yeah.
images. And I know clients of mine have printed those kinds of things in the
Yeah.
past.
So when I think of doing an ebook, I'm like, well, I want to help people get started.
Right.
I want to give them, like even if they never bought anything from me again, I want them to be able to say, you know what, I learned some stuff from that ebook. Because
Hmm.
what I don't like, and it's really popular right now, is the ebook that's really just kind of 100-page sales letter
Right.
type of
Don't
ebook.
want to do
And I'm
that.
like, that's not what I want to be known for.
Hmm.
But certainly I feel like if somebody likes my ebook and they learn something, they're 10 times more likely to purchase a course.
Yeah. And like to your point in the beginning, to be able to read it in a couple of hours, like it shouldn't be something they have to like kind of like look at. I mean, it can be anything you want. Like you guys can create whatever you want, right? Like we're not telling you which kind of book to create, but like if the one you're talking about where they go through in a couple of hours, I'm not picturing them like looking at my WordPress and then going into their WordPress and then coming back to the, well, obviously they'd have it next to them, but you know, like they're going back and forth. It's going to take longer to consume. And so I want to give them like a quick read. Like, so it might be about WordPress and like, what is WordPress? How do you use it? Why would you use it? Things like that.
Yeah, why
Just
is it
giving
better than
them,
this other thing? Yeah,
yeah, giving them that kind of stuff. So yeah, I
yeah,
definitely want to go through the other two things that you mentioned. Plus, we want to talk about, you did have a special offer for our community. I wanted to mention that once, and we've got like, we don't have to be exactly on time, but I do want to respect everybody's time who maybe wanted to be here for just an hour. So yeah, let's talk about how to use ebooks to build business and taking ebooks to create courses.
okay. So how to use ebooks to build business. One, you can definitely give away an ebook as a free gift. And I've done very well with doing that. I think people like getting a free book. Um, it's just kind of a fun free gift. Um, and then another way is, as you see collaborations and things going on, you can add your book to other people's bundle sales. Um,
Love that. I have to just step in because like so many people are giving away courses, but your book is like a quick takeaway, right? Quick download. Yeah, that's good for bundles. Okay, keep going.
yeah. So for bundles, and then, I'm now that I have multiple books, I can make my own book bundles. So, for example, when people get my free ebook, then they get that offer to buy the other little collection of ebooks that can help pay for my ads.
Hmm.
In an ideal world, I would cover all of my ad spend with that, which I'm still testing and tweaking. Um, so you can use ebooks, to pay for advertising in a way.
Hmm.
Um, so they make great order bumps. And that's something I know you and I have been working on. But if you've got, if you are promoting and selling a course and you've got some ebooks in your archives, in your arsenal, you can add them on as an order bump, and for $7 or $9, it just adds up. And I think that people underestimate how much these smaller sales can add up over a year or a few months to really help you like cover your overhead or pay for a virtual assistant. And then you can just keep leveraging that time you spent on that ebook. Um, so yeah, so let me hang on. Let me look at my notes. Order bumps, upsells. Oh, another thing I like to do too is, if you're launching a course or a coaching program or something like that, ebooks make a great joining bonus. If somebody's joining email practice club, maybe you're like, hey, when you join, I'm going to give you these 3 ebooks that are really going to help you get started quickly. And you get all 3 ebooks, when you pay for your first month. So, I just think it makes a nice
I love
add-on
that idea.
to so many different things.
Love that. And I mean, I think even that's a great membership bonus. And I think one ebook could be, whether it's called an ebook or whatever, but it should be bundled in with there, like how to use the membership, right? Like something they can have as a PDF printed out.
Mhm.
Like I would love to do that for my membership and add some other ebooks too. Yeah, love that.
So to me, ebooks are just, yeah, they're just the gift that keeps on giving.
We didn't discuss how much you've made with ebooks, did we? Oh, I asked you how many you had
Yeah,
created or sold, but have you sold 6 figures? Am I getting that right?
I did not pull up the exact numbers. I saw in my Facebook memories the other day. I definitely think I've sold 6 figures in ebooks over 10 years, for sure.
And
Um,
what's the average price?
the average price, most of my ebooks that I sell right now are in, I have 2 different book bundles. So I've got the spa book bundle and then I've got the designing your life book bundle.
Hmm.
So they're $9 and then $19. So I guess
Awesome.
average price maybe $14, $15.
Hmm.
And that's it. So once you have multiple books, that's a great tactic, is to bundle them together. Then they're more the price of like an Amazon Kindle book each.
Hmm.
And that is one thing that I've really seen shift and change over the past few years, is now that we've got Amazon Kindle and Kindle Unlimited, I do think the prices for ebooks have dropped a little bit, like what
Right.
people are willing to pay for them. So um, the days of the $19 ebook, I think that ship has kind of sailed,
Hmm.
but that's okay. Just package it up with something else or put a few together. Like just, we have to keep creating and reinventing as we go.
Ebooks are a great way to learn, affordably though, right? For your
Mhm. Oh
community.
yeah.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
that kind of leads us into, you wanted to mention about turning ebooks into courses or using them as a precursor to courses. Did you want to just talk like kind of quickly on that? And then we want to talk
Yes.
about your offer.
Yeah. So just for example, like my first three ebooks, I had the spa enhancements ebook, I had a start your massage business ebook, and I had a 40 ways to market your massage business ebook. Well, then I took each of those ebooks and I made them into a course.
Hmm.
So basically, each chapter of the ebook was a course module where I could dive a little deeper. I could add video content. I could add the worksheets and checklists and everything like that.
Right.
So, so I've done workshop to ebook and then also ebook to course.
The course. And you've got all the outline, in great detail there for you to just move
Right.
that into
Yeah.
a course.
You've
That's great.
outlined your entire course. You can use what's in your ebook as your talking points for your videos. And as you talk on video, you're automatically going to add more
Hmm.
detail and
Hmm.
stories and things that you're not necessarily going to put into an ebook.
So that's
So it's just
awesome.
richer.
Yeah. And you're getting probably, I mean, my guess would be you've got some people who purchased the ebook now want to go deeper and see in more detail. They may purchase the course, or maybe you have people who are just, maybe they're not into ebooks, they wanted the course, or you have people who don't
Yeah.
want the course, they buy the ebook. So you're giving a lot more, you're able to cater to more people and also increase your income with it at the same time.
Yeah. And I always include the ebook with the course because I just feel like it's a nice little bonus. Somebody
Yeah.
buys the course, maybe they don't want to log in, they can start with the ebook. It's just kind of, you can just have both. Why not?
Hmm. Yeah, and Lynn said, whenever I see someone offering a very expensive course, I look to see if they've published an ebook. Often the ebook contains most of what is in the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's a great way for, to kind of, because I've been wanting to learn YouTube, and I asked my friend, she took like an $1,800 course, but she said this book on Amazon is, $30, and the person who created that course actually learned from the person who wrote that book. So I don't know, I thought, well, that's a good quick way to get started. So it's good incentive for people to buy your books, but there's always ways that they may want to go deeper with you. Maybe it's not that exact course. If you offer other things, other topics, coaching, a membership, different options for them. So think about that as you create your funnel, because maybe they do get everything they want from the ebook, but if you have other options, I'm sure that's creating the relationship as you've seen, Gail. Have
Yeah.
you seen that happen? I would think so.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a big relationship builder. And, yeah, people can say, okay, I read her book. She seems to know her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a very good starting point
Yes,
in
yes,
that
it's
kind
so
of
important.
relationship. So, and also they can read my book and be like, I don't like her stuff. She's not for me. I'm good. Or I already knew all that or whatever they want to think. And that's fine too. So it's a really good kind of, it can definitely help to filter people.
Mm-hmm.
in,
And
in
you
or
want to
out.
filter people because you don't want the wrong people in your business, and you have to deal with that later, and that
Yeah.
can be
And you get,
unpleasant.
and you
So we don't want to do that.
have refund requests or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
So we didn't even, I don't think we've mentioned your name, your business name. Like we mentioned your
oh yeah.
name, but
So my current business name is Elevate with Gail.
mhm.
Um, I love the massage world. I still do a lot there, but after 10 years of working online and writing ebooks, I want to share some of what I've learned in that area as well. So I do have a special offer for everybody here. And I put together a little package with a workshop I did. It kind of outlines more step by step how I used ebooks to build my business. And then I have a course I did during the pandemic for people on my list that wanted to write an ebook. Because I was like, well, we're all stuck at home. Let's write an ebook in 30 days. And I made a course about that. And then I have several other workshops that are included in that. So Angela will send out the link if you want to check out the package.
Yeah, I'll be putting it in the email. This is going to go up on a blog post. I don't know if you want the deal for the blog post, but we'll talk about that later. But it's for you guys. You can have that. I'll put the link in here, but it'll also go out through email as well. But thank you so much for putting that together for us, Gail. And yeah, I'm really excited to make some ebooks like for real and get them on my site and use them in a lot of the ways that you talked about here today. Like I just picture like I hope more people will do ebooks. Like who knows where
Yeah,
that's
I've
gonna
gotten
be.
really excited just talking about it. I
Yeah.
haven't done it in a year. I'm like, oh, I need to do ebooks.
I want to read some ebooks now. I want stuff to print out, hold in my hand, look at that black and white content. If you've got graphics and it's pretty designed, I like that too. But I I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you everybody for being here
It was
too.
fun.
And yeah, I think we've answered questions all along the way, but do you want to do like kind of one last call for questions to see if anybody has one more? Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Right. Or if anybody had any questions on, the bundle Gail put together for us. Catherine says, thank you both. This has been very helpful and informative. Oh, and one thing Catherine had said, I kind of like that. Like sometimes you may not want to listen to the person's voice, but you want to read the ebook because you like the content. Like yeah, I think there's like, sometimes you just want to kind of whip through the content, and then that an ebook
Mhm.
can be like you said, adding that as a bonus to a course. I think that's really valuable because I know most of the time I've done video courses and sometimes my people are saying they prefer to read, but they're taking my courses because that's all I offer is video, but they do actually want to read. So I think that's a huge value add. Let me go down to the comments here. I think some people are saying goodbye. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Marty, I want to get busy now doing another ebook. Awesome, Fran. And then of course you can make them audible. And then we've got thank you from um, it says Min April. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. And Marelda, thank you, thank you. And Marty, very helpful. Thank you. Such a great reminder too. I figured folks didn't care about PDFs any longer, so this gives me a lot of excitement. Yeah, I think it's great when you can, if there's like not a lot of people doing something, but there's people out there who want it, it's a good time to probably
Yeah.
consider doing that for your market. And I have definitely been hearing from people that they want to read. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of overwhelm. So I feel like taking it off of the digital fire hose might be a way to really focus. And it definitely is a way
Yeah,
to
and I think
focus
a
better.
lot of us are like, if I have to reset one more password because
Right, to
I
logins.
can't get into this course I bought, my head might explode.
Right. It just makes it nice and easy. Here you go. Here's the PDF.
Yes.
You don't have to log in, just and then you could make a login for it too, just in case they
And
lose
so
it. But
I will mention that about the little bundle that I put together. So that is how I sell my courses now too. I put everything in a PDF. I put my video links, my audio links, all my content links in a PDF and I just send you the whole PDF.
Oh, the whole course in a PDF. That's neat. I have not seen people doing that.
So, and I did
Extra
it
tip.
because I didn't want to upgrade my, well, I did it because I was having so much customer support of people who are like, I can't get into my course. I can't get into my course. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give you these video links.
That's amazing. I mean, do you still have them log into the course if they want to? Because I think you could put like the links to the logins in the PDF, right? Like they're like, okay, if you really want to log in,
Nope,
but
it's not even on. Nope, I don't even
no.
upload it to my website. They just get the links.
Oh, really? So the whole course is a
Yeah.
PDF and
Mhm.
that's where they get it. Wow. No, I've never seen people do that. I didn't realize you do that, but I like if nothing else, if I keep my courses, like, cause I don't know that I'm going to take my courses out of Thrivecart, but giving them a PDF to start the course, cause then they can put it on their desktop. You know, here's where you
Mhm.
log in. Here's what to do if you can't log
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
and like just stuff like that. Yeah, PDFs are underrated. We need to get those running
yep.
our business better.
PDF everything.
Yes, PDF. Well, PDF all the things.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you everyone for being here. I think that I have gotten everything in the comments here and we'll wrap it up there.
Take care, you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, and Gail's offer will come out through email and if you're interested, check it out there too. Okay. Bye guys.
Bye.